Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I have been taking it a little bit slow and not posting as much as I would normally, and I apologize for that. I've just been very busy behind the scenes. This channel is a tiny fraction of everything I have going on with my career. I will be going back to more regular posting, but it will be towards the end of the summer. You'll see a lot of changes. I'm going to completely redo and relaunch my site, and I have a new collection coming as well. Making all sorts of things like that happen has slowed me down with actually producing content. I believe that it's worth it, and I think you will agree in the long run. But I did want to come and check in and see how you all are. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying what is the beginning of really wonderful, glorious weather here in Washington State, and hopefully wherever you live as well. I'm really enjoying all of the spring fashion that's been coming out this year. It all feels very 70s and bohemian, and that's not a new thing. It's so funny to me how every single time it's presented like it is, but it seems to sort of cycle back every couple of years. But for whatever reason, this particular season, I'm especially into that vibe. So I'm going to share a few of my favorite kind of 70s inspired things fashion wise. Then we're going to get into some home styling. I've made a few changes to my home that I'm excited to share with you in this video. And just generally all of the different categories that I like to share in these periodic favorite videos that cover everything I like to wear, want, watch, read, eat, and tips to succeed. A big purchase that I haven't shared, even though I've had it for quite a while, just didn't feel like I wanted to do an unboxing for this bag, but now that I've been carrying it around for about 2 months, I started wearing it right before I left for Hawaii. I want to show it to you because it's such a throwback that I missed out on when it was actually, you know, such a big thing. This is my Balenciaga. I really enjoy the color combination. I think it's so perfect for spring, and it doesn't look like it, but it actually does fit my MacBook Pro. I measured before I bought it, and it just fits. And if you don't have a laptop in there, it really does fit a lot. I have a huge makeup bag here, a handful of masks, a perfume, and even my rose gold pocket Constitution. This has been the bag that I've been carrying every single day, really, without ever switching out of it unless I want a little clutch in the evening, and I really love it. So if you're looking for a new, just easy, kind of bigger bag that has, you know, a little bit more of a casual vibe, I always felt like this bag wasn't my style, but I've been loving it. And then the other thing I've been wearing nonstop, I've been seeing this thought on every fashion blog, which is that, you know, we're not quite into full-on, you know, dresses everyday summer fashion territory. So unless you're gonna go out in sweatpants every day, which is cool if that's your vibe, most of us are going back to wearing some kind of jeans at some point during the week, and they feel overwhelming. The other thing that nobody talks about that feels overwhelming in terms of, you know, going out of the house again a little bit more is wearing a real bra. So I'm gonna share with you the one that I'm wearing right now. I love this dress because I can actually wear a real, you know, with straps bra with it. To me, wearing an underwire bra feels even more uncomfortable than wearing like thick traditional jeans. I found a soft cup bra that still looks like an underwire bra and gives you all of the support that you would get from an underwire bra while still looking cute, so it's not a sports bra or anything like that. We all have our place for sports bras that we like to get them from. Mine is Lululemon, but you know, if you want that sort of shaping that you don't get from a sports bra without the squishing, but you don't want to wear underwires, this is the bra for you. I will link it down below. But I also wanted to figure out a solution to the jeans problem, and I ordered more pairs of jeans than I care to admit. I did go up a size in these because, like most people, I gained a little bit of weight during the last year or so, and I'm okay with it. I'm trying not to like focus on it at all. So I just got jeans that fit me, and I really recommend that you do the same if you are in the same boat in any way. So one pair is from Mother, and these are very kind of 90s looking. They don't have, you know, any fraying or anything. They have a traditional hem. They're very traditional kind of blue jean color. And I think from afar, they have that kind of a Levi's traditional mom jeans look, but they're so much softer and more comfortable. I tried to find a pair of Levi's, you know, like the wedgie jean, just they look cute, but I don't want to spend any time in them. So what a waste of money, right? So I found two pairs that I actually do want to spend time in, and this Mother pair is one pair, and then this Frame pair, which is Le Sylvie Slender Straight, from Frame, which is another one of my favorite denim brands. This one has, I think, a little bit more stretch to it, but Frame in general is an awesome brand because they don't, you know, lose their shape. And these are out of character for me in that they have more kind of fraying at the ends. I like that the fraying, it doesn't really show your leg through it, if that makes sense. Like, it still leaves the jeans opaque, and there's really only two major patches on it. So it's a little bit more of a relaxed vibe, but I really like how they fit and how they feel. So those two jeans are my successes after trying on at least 10 pairs. I've already mentioned that I love this dress. I think it's probably my favorite purchase that I've made in a while. I love how it moves when you walk. It just feels very airy and light, and like I said, I like that it has real straps. It's actually really hard to find that. And then I also love this other dress, which I haven't worn a ton. Love the red color. It just feels like vacation. And they are both from the same brand that I really have never liked. Because most of their collections have been too bohemian for me. You know, you guys know I like to dress up a little bit more, be a little bit more polished. My style is just a little bit more classic. But two things happened. Free People designed a collection that has a lot of pretty dresses that are a little bit more dressy than their usual collections, and I was feeling like the whole 70s bohemian vibe quite a bit. Those two things collided, and I found these two dresses that are pretty well priced, and I've just been loving them. I feel like the quality feels better than it usually does from Free People as well. I already made my big purchase for decor, which was my egg chair. I think it's still called an egg chair, even though it's not hanging, it has feet. I wanted something that was going to be on feet. I just find that more comfortable and also just easier to style for a patio. And I found one that I really love that is actually really, really comfortable. I've been working on there, and it's actually not just an aesthetic, like trendy thing. It's also very functional because the top of the one that I got is solid. So it's actually a form of sun protection. It's not completely opaque, but it's pretty close to it, to the point where for the first time ever, I've been able to work outside on my laptop and not get too much glare on the screen. So I think that's pretty awesome. I've just been really enjoying having this slightly bigger patio than I had in my previous place, and just sitting out there, and I put some money into making it really nice and feel, you know, part of my home. Got a ruggable rug for out there, which I'm a big fan of because they're machine washable. I got all new cushions for out there as well. Once I did all of that, I didn't think that I was really going to do much else with this home because I already, you know, set everything up and I haven't had a lot of time. But I did put one order through to Zara Home, and that is because I'm obsessed with their website and their aesthetic. Not Zara fashion, which is everything it usually is. Zara Home has a totally different site with amazing, amazing styling. I don't know what is going on there, but they've clearly invested into making this happen as a thing. And the home, or multiple homes that they shot all of their interior decor in, is, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a minimalist kind of southern Italy vibe, but it's not the blues and whites that you would typically get. It's more neutrals, but there is a lot of those kind of capri lemons and those kind of prints blended into the site, but mixed with a lot of linens and very simple pared down aesthetics. And it's not really my style for the home, but I've been super drawn to it. So I'm trying to control myself from buying way too much stuff from there. Inserts that they sell are not the fullest, so if you want a super plump look, you may want to look elsewhere for those, but the quality of the fabric and construction with a nice concealed zipper and everything of these cushions is so gorgeous. It's the kind of, you know, quality you would get somewhere like the Cross in Vancouver if you happen to be from there, where everything is upwards of $200, but for usually around 60, something like that, 50, 60. This one's a little bit more glam with the pom-poms and a little bit of sparkle. And then it's so easy to only get cushions that are super statement-y, but then you have nothing to blend them with for background. So I got two. This one, I mean, it doesn't look like a plain one, but in real life, it's kind of more of a subdued kind of mustard color. And I love the chevron texture to it because I'm very big on chevron. And then they have these that I think would look wonderful on a bed. They have piping, kind of like frette linens, and it is a kind of nubbly, thick linen in this kind of unusual beige color. I don't know, it's a nice neutral that kind of goes with everything that has a little bit of warmth. These are the ones that I picked out, but there are so many more and it is so tempting to get more. And I also got a big long one for my bed as well that is really nice. Thought maybe the quality would be super fast fashion-y, but it's not. It's real linen, a lot of natural fibers, and everything is so beautiful. On Architectural Digest, I saw a video of someone's home. I think it was in rural Connecticut, and I don't remember anything else really about it. It was this cute farmhouse, you know, with the super luxe kitchen, but very cozy with the beams and everything. And he had this great idea, which is he had this pile of wicker baskets by the door, and whenever he would be invited over to someone's home pre-pandemic, this was not a recent video, he would take a basket and fill it with, you know, farm fresh goodies. And I thought that that was such a beautiful and unexpected hostess gift. And it inspired this idea. So this one is mine, but I'm going to order some more of them. They have the cutest vases on there. And usually when you go over to someone's home or see them and bring them flowers, you just give them the bouquet. At least that's what I've been doing my whole life. But then they have to put it in water. And if you're having a dinner party, it kind of interrupts the flow of the conversation. If you can find affordable, stylish vases, how beautiful of a gift is that to just show up and the flowers are already in water. You can get a more affordable bouquet as well if you're thinking this is like crazy expensive. You know, you can get really simple, minimal flowers and then bring it in a beautiful vase that they get to keep. And most people, even people who have everything, don't have an extensive collection of vases that they love. Neutral ones that will go with anyone's home and of different sizes and price points from around $18 all the way to I think around $70. They have a giant one. Please someone get it. It's so gorgeous. It would be so perfect with some pampas grass in it, but it's like yay high and I don't know if I need that. Do I need that? That's the item on my want list. We'll just put that out there. 4 shows that have entertained me, and my latest thing that I've been enjoying doing is watching like an episode of a show while I cook. 2 of the shows have either a new season already out or a new season coming. Oh, look who's trespassing. What are you doing up there? Can we help you? Aw. She missed you guys. But watching it made me want to get more kind of curtain bangs. Funny story, I got my hair cut shorter and I do really like it. It feels a lot more healthy and less work. Of course I'm gonna grow it out because that's what I do every single time I get my hair cut shorter. But I saw The Serpent and Jenna Coleman in it has fabulous style. She's obviously, you know, like a criminal. And the show is good, but not that good. It's not like edge of your seat good. And her fashion is so good. She's got these awesome curtain bangs. Her hair looks awesome. And I have ended up wearing my hair kind of like that, even though I only have just like a few little shorter pieces, not real curtain bangs, because my hairdresser cut a super short chunk of hair on this side. I don't know if you can see that when I wear my hair side parted to the other side, just sticks up like nothing else. So I have no choice but to wear my hair like this right now, and I think it's what's trendy anyway, so we're just going with it. And then what I'm just starting to watch is Younger with Sutton Foster. It's the last season, so we all want to know how it's going to end. And I really enjoyed that whole series. So if you haven't watched it, I think it's actually pretty smart. I like the humor in it, and I just really enjoy watching Sutton Foster's talents. I actually saw her on stage in Thoroughly Modern Millie many years ago, and she's just an amazing triple threat. And then if you want something a little bit more brainy, I watched the WeWork documentary, I think on Hulu, and I thought it was really interesting. I never really followed the rise of WeWork all that much, although they did have a space in Vancouver that was super popular and everybody seemed to have this fever over them. And so it was interesting to kind of take a retrospective into the rise and fall of their leader. And I wish they had included a little bit more content on how they did the valuation for WeWork, which was quite untraditional, if I can put it that way. So I would have liked it if it had delved a little bit more into details like that and a little bit less into personality, but still, you know, really enjoyable overall and kind of a dip into new waters for me because I'm not usually a documentaries person really ever. I like fiction. Similarly, you haven't seen Lattes in Literature for me for a while because I haven't had that much time to really throw myself into a novel. I've started collecting coffee table books on jewelry, and this goes with my drive to take a look at my jewelry brand and designs as a whole and figure out what I want to keep and what I'm a little bit tired of. And so I've been reading through these books and just enriching my knowledge of gemstones and the history of jewelry design, and I've got about a dozen books that I purchased to go with that kind of process. But these are my two favorites. I do wish that this one was a little bit less dated looking. As a coffee table book, it's not the most appealing, and unfortunately doesn't even have a nice cover underneath, but the content is good, which is what matters, because coffee table books just collect dust anyway. I'm more of like a bookshelf kind of person anyway. But this one is really well done because it's a nice balance of photography and text, and the text is very well written and very informative on different eras of jewelry. My favorite being Art Deco. It's always been Art Deco, but it also has a lot of interesting information about the Belle Epoque and a lot of jewelry designs from Victorian times as well, just throughout time. And I thought it was really neat because I really don't need another book talking about De Beers and Tiffany's. I thought this one was really interesting. In terms of a slightly more aesthetically pleasing looking book, I love the rainbow that they did with the gemstones on the cover of this one. I think it's super classy looking, and I like that it's a little bit smaller. And it is all about gemstones and the different cuts of gemstones, and especially includes a lot of information about the Moss hardness scale of each gemstone, and just a lot of interesting information. So it'll go through all of the different variations of stones that exist, and it's really a nice reference piece as well. And again, I really enjoy how it covers diamonds but isn't all about diamonds, because there are so many other beautiful gemstones out there that are very hard wearing as well that nobody talks about quite as much. So I really enjoyed this book. I think it's really well put together. Into the eat category. You guys know this is always my favorite, and no exception. I've been trying to eat more vegetables because I feel like I went many months without really eating enough fruits and vegetables. So I've been loving cucumber salad from Angel Wong, which is meant to be a bit of a knockoff of Din Tai Fung. If you ever had their cucumber salad, it's so delicious, but they give you a very small portion, so I buy a huge bag of cucumbers and make that. And then of course, to balance out all these fruits and vegetables, I found a new cheesecake recipe. This looks like I'm showing you just this horrible burnt cupcake, but it is meant to look this way. You can see it's not burnt underneath. It's just got a little bit of a crust on top that is dark. It is a Basque cheesecake. Now this is the Bon Appetit Basque cheesecake recipe that I customize to be personal sized, and I really love how it turned out. I think I need to get slightly deeper muffin molds because I do feel like these could do with being a little bit deeper. The Basque cheesecake is really interesting. It is meant to have that kind of burnt looking crust on the top, and it gives it a slightly sugary, bitter flavor. It's a very similar flavor profile to creme brulee, but in a totally different texture. That's even a bit different and more firm than traditional, you know, like grocery store cheesecake. And I love that it's crustless, so you just make a batter and you put that in your large mold or muffin mold if you're making my version. And it's just really satisfying and creamy, and I added lemon zest and orange zest to make it feel a bit more like spring, and I'm really pleased with how these turned out. So that's been my favorite sweet treat. And then along with my goal of just eating more vegetables, because when, you know, I want to kind of be healthier, as influencers like to say, instead of cutting things out, my preference is to add things in. So just focus on eating more vegetables, eating more salads, more soups that are just very vegetable full. And one of the ways that I have been doing that is to make a delicious creamy condiment that is, you know, better than the bottled version. And it's really turned me into a ranch convert because I've never really liked that Hidden Valley stuff all that much. I will have it with wings, like it just, you know, feels right to have that as a combination, but I've never wanted to, you know, like put it on everything. But then I found a homemade recipe. It's kind of like ranch meets tzatziki. It's like, I think that's actually the best way to put it. It's like those two had a baby, because it has a little bit less of the dill focused flavor and a little bit more of like a tangy kind of taste to it with more lemon. So I do lemon juice, and I do 1/4 mayo instead of half mayo, but I use really good, really high quality French mayo that I will link down below that I've been loving. I'm such a mayo person, by the way, so I'm never like a remove all the mayo kind of person because it's what I eat with my fries, so I always have some. But in this recipe, I think having it be a little bit more herbaceous and more fresh and a little bit more of like a different panoply of herbs rather than just, you know, dill with a really rich thick sauce. This lighter version is lovely drizzled on top of like a chicken or seafood salad. It's so good with salmon. I'll just have like a big dollop of it next to some salmon. If you haven't tried Alison Roman's recent oven baked salmon recipe with the oil that's flavored with the garlic and shallots, it's so good. So if you make that and then make this ranch, have some greens, that's like the ultimate spring meal, I think. So I've been loving that. And then finally, for the succeed step, as I said, you know, I've been having a lot going on behind the scenes, and it's difficult for me sometimes to accept that to move forward, like moving forward with a new site and so forth, you have to take a step back. That can be very uncomfortable for those of us who are just very driven and fueled by feeling productive and feeling like doing, you know, making progress with something every single day is so important. But sometimes you actually have to take a step back in order to create the time and headspace for yourself to create something new. So that's what I've been doing. So to take that, which is what I've been feeling, and then kind of broaden it a little bit, I think what I would like to do is to remind you, you know, it's not New Year's or anything, but it's spring cleaning of our lives and so forth. Remind you that it's never too late as well to try new things. Sometimes that will require a step back, sometimes it won't. But 3 people that have created amazing things that nobody ever really remembers came to it later in life, past 40, are Alan Rickman, who I really miss as an actor, who I thought was such a wonderful actor, had a successful graphic design business that he sold and then went to drama school and never really was in a movie until he was 40. Martha Stewart didn't actually publish entertaining until she was, I believe, 42. So obviously, you know, all of the different things that she has created throughout the years, home decor wise, cooking wise, were things that she was interested in beforehand, but the fruition of different things can take many years and is like an iceberg. So you only see the final product, but there can be a decade plus of work that goes into producing that. There was a movie made about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's life called On the Basis of Sex that I watched a few months ago. And, you know, there's a lot more to know about her than a movie, but the movie is a good place to start. Obviously, coming from Canada, I didn't study a lot of her rulings in law school. It's rarely mentioned and hinted at in the movie, and so I kind of looked into a little bit more that I thought was really interesting. Is, you know, we think of her on the bench usually and think of her legacy in that way, but she was actually never a litigator. She was a law professor until she was at least 39 years old. Her amazing career as a law professor and all of the amazing things that she did before that in terms of being a trailblazer to even go to law school at the time. Fortunately, I think it can be so easy to get pigeonholed and to pigeonhole yourself as a career woman. And so being reminded of someone's amazing legacy that we dominantly associate with her as being in court either as a litigator or on the bench, participating in, you know, new decisions and creating new precedent isn't something that she actually got to until she was later in life. And I've heard so many lawyers over the years talk about how if you want to be in litigation, that's what you have to do from the get-go. And that is so often the case with every area of law and with many other professions as well. I think it can be so difficult and feel unsurmountable to switch paths once you are down a particular one. But it is not impossible, and if you really want it, you can get there. And so, you know, in this moment where I feel like we've all been hibernating and standing still in many ways while trying to keep all of our balls in the air, I wanted to remind you of that and my personal experience of that in so many ways that many of you don't even realize. And something I'm thinking about right now is how I can bring that into this channel while still keeping it what it always was and what I originally came to the YouTube table for, which is sharing fun, beautiful, aesthetic things that inspire me, while still infusing that side of my life into it in small, you know, little ways that pop up once in a while. So that is it for this catch-up video. It's so nice to get to sit down with you all. Thank you so much for joining me and continuing down this journey with me, and I will see you in my next installment on style. If you haven't subscribed yet, I know everybody says this, but you probably want to, because I have the biggest, like times more than 3 giveaway coming than I have ever done. And if you like the kind of aesthetic accessory type of purchases and content that I sometimes make, then you are definitely going to want to be there for this one. So subscribe, turn your notifications on so you get informed about that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.